Talkin! For educational purpose only.
We're about to take it back.
Okay.
Talking Loud Podcast. Dank, sticky, gassy, and all that good stuff, man. And bang, I'm back with another episode. We got a very special guest, man, because I'm chilling with a homie, man, a fellow grower, a fellow podcaster, a fellow toker, a canner enthusiast, a guy who eats edibles for a friggin' living, man. We got my good homie over here, the real green monster. What's going on, broski?
That was an epic intro, brother. Thank you.
I got you, my man. That's how I was actually introduced to you, man. I think, or actually, maybe it was a little bit differently, bro. But either way, I remember you saying specifically, "I eat edibles for a living, dude."
Hell yeah, man. Keep me chill. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get a little angry. You know.
Yeah, I got you. Sure, shit, man. But how's it going, bro? Thanks for taking the time to come and kick it with us, man. For all those who don't know, Real Green Monster's got a lot of great stuff going on. Like I said, he's a fellow podcaster, a fellow content creator, doing some great stuff on YouTube, on Twitch, everywhere you can find him. He's on there. Check him out on Instagram, doing some great things. Definitely check out Cultivation Conversation, man. But dude, before we get into any of all that crazy stuff, man, just tell me, how are you going, man? I just like to ask people, how things are going on over where you're chilling at.
Man, things are great. The weather's picking up here. I'm getting excited for the outdoor run. Here in Massachusetts, growing outdoors is a crapshoot. It really is. You got to really have your shit together and be on top of your plan and follow it. Yeah, so I'm going to do things a little different this year.
I was actually just about to ask, like, how the weather is out where you're at in Massachusetts. Like, is it good for outdoor growing or is it bad for outdoor growing? Because outdoor growing is really weather dependent, right?
It kind of just depends, man. Like last year was great. The year before sucked. So you just,
yeah,
we don't have a long outdoor growing season like in, the warmer climates. We have a couple of months and you really got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, for real, man. I got you on that for sure, dude. Like out here is just starting to warm up, but like today it's pretty friggin' chilly outside, and it's been a little bit rainy. But long story short, man, we're here to chill out with you, find out what's going on in your garden. Because like I said, guys, he's growing some great fire. So definitely check him out on Instagram. Smash the like button because today's episode is going to be a banger. But dude, one thing I like to ask everyone that comes on to the show, man, it's almost like a ritual, right? It's about their name, and you got a real dope name, man. Like it really, I think it suits you, man. The Real Green Monster. So tell us about it, man. How did that come about, man?
So I've been growing herb for a long time, man. And, I would set up grows for people and, I would always be bringing the fire everywhere I go. And one of my boys just started calling me Green Monster. He's like, Green Monster, what up? Green Monster. Here's the Green Monster. And I wanted to just be Green Monster on Instagram, but that was taken. So I went with the Real Green Monster. Yeah, because I am the Real Green Monster.
Yeah, the Real Green Monster. You guys don't get it twisted, man. So that's what we're chilling out with today, man. And actually, I also got the Cultivation Conversation podcast, man. So tell us a little bit about that, man. Shout that out.
So that all started with my homie, Captain Autoflower. We met on Instagram, started shooting the shit. Kind of had a disdain for a lot of different podcasts out there where, thought they were missing something. We thought we could bring something to the table. So here we are. And we just recorded our 102nd episode yesterday.
Oh, congratulations, bro. That is dope, guys. That is amazing. Definitely check him out. Smash the like for that because Cultivation Conversation is doing some great things. I actually had the captain on once, man, and he was a great guy on the show, man. I learned so much from him about autoflowers, man. So shout out to him. You guys are doing some great stuff, man. And it's actually 3 of you guys. Girl Grow is on there as well, right?
Yep. It all started with me and Cap, and then we did audio format up until I think it was July, of 22. And we decided we were going to take it into video format. We asked G3 to come on as a trio.
Yeah.
She had been on it like 2 or 3 times, and she always killed it. We had a good vibe. I like, the vibe between two dudes and a chick.
Yeah.
She balances us out. She's got some good wisdom, very insightful, witty.
Yeah.
And she's
Sure.
beautiful as well, so that doesn't hurt, right?
You got
So
those cool shades, bro. Those cool
yeah,
shades. Yeah.
yeah, no, she's a cool chick, man, and she's really down to earth, and she is very passionate about the plant. That's important to me. If you don't
Yeah.
have a passion for this plant, if you're just in this, for fame or to make money, that's not it. Like, look,
Yeah.
the money will come. Like, we make a little bit of money with the podcast, but I mean, as you know, like, the software you use to record the podcast costs money. Like, people don't realize this. The website costs money. Like, we're not,
Everything, dude.
we're not raking it in.
Everything.
It's a passion project.
Yeah, for
At the
sure.
end of the day, you have to do it for yourself and not for anybody else. And it's like therapy, man. Getting on, talking shit, educating people. I love to educate people. Everybody that smokes should be growing this plant.
Heck
If you're
yeah.
allowed to.
Yeah, dude, grow your own. I'm a big advocate for that, man, and I see you are as well. And it's literally testament to your flower, some of the great friggin' plants you're growing, some of the beautiful buds, and we're gonna get into all that, man. So before we actually do, I think I heard you mention like you've been growing for a long time now. So tell us a little bit about how you actually started off growing, man. What pulled you into growing? Was it like the dispo prices were too high, or you just didn't want to buy from the plug, or what made you get into growing?
Well, I mean, I've been growing long before dispos were even a thing.
That's what I thought, literally.
I've always had a love for this plant, and it's like you said, like, you don't know what the fuck you're getting when you go to your guy. Like,
Yeah.
I come from the days where you were buying shit with sticks and seeds. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah,
people that
bro.
don't even know what the fuck that is, So, I knew I could do it better,
Yeah.
And I've always had a hobby maintaining fish tanks. I transitioned right into hydro. That was the first way I started growing. And I
Damn.
loved hydro, dude. I swear I would never do anything else.
Damn, you started off with hydro, eh? I did not know that, bro. That is
Mm.
actually pretty dope. How was that as a learning curve, man? Was it pretty steep or was it easy for you?
I gotta be honest, man. It was pretty easy because it's all about water. It's all about water chemistry, man. And if you know fish tanks, you know hydro.
Okay,
It's
yeah. True, I got you on that.
it's just a little bit. I feel like people overthink this plant. Like,
Well, I killed a lot of fish, so probably that's why I wasn't good with hydro.
yeah, it's all about maintaining the right levels in the pH in the water, right? So
Yeah.
it's the same principle that just rolled right over.
Shit, dude. I did not know that you start off with that, man. That's dope.
Mm-hmm. And I swore I would never grow any other way. But then I discovered cocoa.
Okay.
And cocoa is still considered hydroponics because it's an inert medium, but it's a little bit more forgiving, right?
Yeah.
With cocoa, you have that medium, right? With hydro, you fuck up or you do something, it's not quite as forgiving.
So the cocoa is like a bit more of a buffer or something like that, right?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, that's a good way to look at it, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I discovered auto pots in like 2017, and those changed my life, man.
Damn.
Like, I was skeptical at first because we're all taught, especially with cocoa, that you need to have runoff. You need to have runoff, right? And I'm looking at this bottom fed system, zero waste, no runoff. I'm like, there's just no fucking way that can work. And I started seeing some results from other people that were killing it, and I tried them and haven't looked back, man. Every single grow that I run, whether I set it up for somebody else or whatever, it's all on autopots.
Gotcha, man. Autopots are pretty dope, man. So that actually can lead us nicely into like what's going on. So you start off with the hydro, you start off in like the DWC culture, and you moved across to like I take it some of the cocoa. So where are you at nowadays? Like, what's your current setup look like? Because on Instagram, it looks like you're growing some crazy plants, beautifully trellised out, like all sorts of stuff, outdoors, indoor setups, greenhouses. Like, talk to us, man. What's the setup looking like, bro?
So I'm a cocoa guy, 70-30 cocoa, 70% cocoa,
It's all
30%
about the
perlite.
cocoa.
I'm a cocoa guy, so I set them up on auto pots, and it's really that simple. I like to use a synthetic approach, a little bit of salts, a little bit of organics.
Yeah.
People, you can do you. I've always heard the argument, oh, well, you get more flavor with organics, and I think that might be true for some people, because it's harder to get good flavor growing with salts.
Yeah.
But if you mix in some organics with some teas and stuff, I think you can get the best of both worlds approach, and that's the way I take it.
Yeah, that is so true, man. And Synganics is definitely something which I think is taking the world by storm. Shout out my homie JR. He actually won the DGC Cup last year, took second place, sorry.
Oh,
And
JR Farmer?
JR Token.
Talkin, I mean, yep.
Yeah, and he ran that flower synganically, you know, and it was pretty fucking dope just to see like a lot of people are adopting different ways. Because like we all say, there's no right or wrong way to grow great flower, great tasting flower, you know. And people say, oh, synganics taste like crap and organics are the way to go. But why not marry the two? Why not bring them together and see what you can do, right?
Dude, you know, I think you really hit the nail on the head. I'm not going to tell you how to grow. Just grow.
Yeah,
Grow. If you want to grow organically, do it. Hydro, do it. Cocoa, do it. Just
yeah.
fucking do it.
Just grow, bro. Just grow, bro. We should put that on
Mhm.
a t-shirt, my man. Just grow, bro.
Just grow, bro, man. Just do it, you know, and don't overthink things.
Yeah,
Take a less is more approach. It's
yeah,
funny, like if people understood how simple I take this plant and like it's really not that hard when you boil it down, right?
yeah,
You have your nutrients, you're you're fertigating the plant with water and nutrients, right? So it especially with auto pots, man, the plants feed themselves,
yeah. Facts.
right? They decide how much to drink. So that does take a lot of the human error out of things.
Yeah,
Um, but you know, a question I get all the time, and I'm sure you do too, is how much do I water? Am I overwatering? Am I underwatering? Just pick up your pots and get a feel for them when they're wet.
yeah. That's what
And
I do.
yeah, and you know, if you are not sure, wait a day.
Yeah, be hands on and just feel it out a little bit. If you think it's a little bit too heavy, then just be a little hands off at that point. Less maybe more for you, right?
Yeah, don't be a helicopter parent.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said, man. Well, you got a lot of great stuff going on, dude. And honestly, like I'm just super stoked to finally have you on the show, man. We've been talking about it for a while, dude. So, like I keep saying, guys, smash that like and check him out on Instagram because he's such a great guy, man. He posts such great content all the time. And you who does not want to see the real green monster and his beautiful plants, man? So definitely check him out on Instagram. We'll have links to those in the live chat for you guys. But real green monster, man. So in terms of like your plants and stuff, your setup, like your current setup. What's your current setup looking like? Are you running like indoors, outdoors? I think you mentioned you start off going to some outdoors since you're going into that time of season, right? I think you cut off, my man. I can't hear you.
My bad. Sorry about
No,
that.
you're good. I can hear you now.
Um, yeah, so it's a combination of both. 99% of the time, I am indoors. During the summertime, you'll see me venture out outdoor.
Okay, I got you. So for your outdoor setup, you got it in like a greenhouse?
Correct. I this year I'll be running a 20 by 10 greenhouse, all autopod driven.
That is real dope, man. So shout out to Autopots, man. Whoever says you can't run Autopots outdoors in a greenhouse, the real green monster proves otherwise, man.
Yeah, just go back and look at some of my posts from last year. I did a pretty good job. There was a couple of things I wish I'd done a little bit differently. We learn from our mistakes, right,
Yeah,
dude? We
yeah,
learn
for
more from
sure.
mistakes than we do success, and you have to be humble and take that. Sometimes people are stubborn and they're like, no, I'm just going to do the same thing I did last year. That's the definition of insanity, man.
Literally,
If you
bro.
if you do the same thing over and over, you expect different results. What the fuck?
Literally, bro. My dad always told me that, bro. He was like, an ass is a person who makes the same mistakes over and over again and expects a different result. Oh, man, that is so true. But what I did want to say, man, is that the autopots, right? So they take a lot of the guesswork out. And before we dig into the autopots, man, I think I read somewhere that you're actually an automation consultant, dude. So like you're heavily on automating, your setup, your grow room, whatever you want to call it, getting yourself hands off, getting back some time in your day, man. So tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about automation for those who don't actually know what automation even is, or that it's possible to automate your grow room. What would you say to them?
I would say that most people already have half the equipment ready to automate. I see a lot of people they think automation, they hear that and they get like taken back, like automation, holy shit. Like, or the other argument I get is I love, spending more time in the garden, like hand watering my plants. And
Yeah,
that's great. Like my argument for that is you can still spend that time in the garden, but you can be doing other things like scouting for bugs or
absolutely.
defoliating
So true.
or whatever, getting ready for the next round, right? So, um, you know, basically your climate really is key to me. Plants like consistency. They don't like to be, one day be 85, the next day be 72, right? They want that consistency. So,
Yeah.
and when I say most people already have the equipment to get started, everybody's rocking these AC Infinity fans, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out,
So,
man. Hit that discount code I can THC. You guys can snag some discounts.
yeah, hell yeah. Right. So, but 99% of the grows I come in on, the first thing I do is I look at their fan, typical not most of them AC Infinity, and they have it just on, right? Like on a setting, like 5 or 6. And I'm like, why? Why do you have it set up like that? Did you know that that fan can climate control your tent or your room based on whatever temperature you set, right? And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, what did you think that temperature probe was there for? Just to tell you how hot your tent is? No, it triggers me, honestly, dude. It's
Yeah,
because I'm like, because like, look, the thing too with LEDs is you want to be running a warmer environment. And I see most people in like the 70s and stuff.
yeah,
You'll do much better if you're running 82, 83. I run like 85 in veg,
yeah.
right?
And
So
that's for sure.
yeah, you'll see a better result from the plants that way. And you can set your AC Infinity fan to a temperature to turn on. Say, all right, high temperature. I'm going to set it to 84, 85 degrees. The fan won't come on until it needs to
Yeah,
expel air, keep your room at that temperature. Or if you want it, it has humidity parameters, same thing, right? That's one way to automate. And that's key,
smart.
right? Even if you
Yeah,
just automate that just alone, shit, man, you're already got half the battle done. You're
yeah,
going to
man.
have
You're
that
ahead of the
consistent
game.
and you're going to have that consistent environment that the plants thrive off.
Yeah,
Plants can adapt, right? But the thing is you don't want them constantly having to adapt to different changes in the environment. You want
yeah,
a daytime temp and a nighttime temp, and you know, try
yeah.
to try to achieve that.
It is true, man. That is so true. And what do you even mention, dude? Like it can save you money in the long run because your fan isn't running 24/7 on 5 or 6 or whatever. So it kicks on when it needs to. It maintains that environment because a lot of the times like plants thrive in better in different environments. So during veg you may want something different to what your flowering plant may be in, so that is something to take to consider. And I've noticed myself, plants will grow if you have them in conditions that are, like low 60, 70, anywhere like that. That may be a little bit low in terms of degrees I'm talking. And even if the RH is too low, you want to maintain that RH as well, but you won't see that explosive, really nice green lush growth in veg. It'll just grow slow and you'll be wondering, why my plants not growing as best as they can be? They're growing pretty slow. Well, it's probably because your environmental conditions aren't dialed in. So just dial in those environmental conditions, guys. That's a mouthful. Just dial in those environmental conditions, guys, and you'll be a lot better off, man. So I think that that's something that you really explained very well, Green Monster. So what sort of automation controls do you have in your setup? And you cut off again, man.
I had a lot of background noise, so I mean, a good thing we're recording this, huh?
No
Um,
worries, man. You're good.
yeah. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag at all the different locations I run. So mostly I'm trying to adapt everything over to AC Infinity.
Yeah,
Their UIS system, to me, dollar for dollar, can't be beat. And
got
for
you.
those of you who don't know what that is, if you have the controller 69 or the 69 Pro, you can actually wire other devices like a dehumidifier or a humidifier to these and
Yeah,
then control them with the AC Infinity app. And it's
yeah,
pretty cheap, man. Like if let's say you don't have the controller, the 69, right? The 69 Pro is like $100, I think. And
yeah,
then the UIS plugs are like 20. So for $140, you could set up your dehumidifier, your humidifier, and your exhaust fan all automated on whatever parameters you set, right?
yeah, for
And
sure.
and then that's it, dude. That you're automated. You're fully friggin' automated for $140. It's
Yeah.
kind of a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, you're in the game with that one, man, and that really does change the game for a lot of people. So think of it that way: everything is synchronized and everything is running completely, all together in one ecosystem. And when your plants are in a happy ecosystem, your plants thrive, man. It's all about growing healthy plants, man. And guys, check out his Instagram. I keep saying that because you need to check out his Instagram because some of those plants are some of the healthiest I've seen in a while, man. So let's talk a little bit about the plants, man. Like, what sort of medium are you using? You said you're using cocoa, right? Well, when you
Yep.
and you're using that with an autopot system as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when it comes to feeding, how do you feed? Do you feed through the autopot system?
Yep. I use the reservoir. Typically the 12 plant setup is like a 60 gal,
Dope.
and I'm rocking Athena.
Athena
It,
nutrients, man.
yeah, yeah. It's cheap. It's effective. It works. I don't like some of the shit that goes on in that company. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. I like the product and it works. It's cheap, so I'll
Yeah,
continue to use it. And then I make my own compost teas. The recipe varies. It, kind of depends on what I have on hand that day.
And do you,
And
you
then
feed the compost teas like directly into the res, or you feed it directly into the medium?
that's a great question, actually. So I have secondary reservoirs set up for organic feeding. Like I wouldn't want to put that into my reservoir. So I have
Yeah,
like these 5-gallon buckets that I tee off with shutoff valves,
got
and
you.
then I will feed my organic teas and amendments that way, and shut those off when they're not being used. So that way I'm not clogging up my reservoir with shit, because it does get funky.
Yeah, man, compost teas can get a bit grimy, but
Mhm.
yeah, and a lot of people don't want to clog up those reservoirs or cause any issues with it, man. So when it comes to the autopot system, that takes away all the guesswork as well. So you're fully automated when it comes to the autopot, your grow tents, your environmental conditions, everything. So
Mhm.
you don't feed, you don't water, you don't do anything, man. You just set it and forget it, right?
Pretty much, I do
Wow.
some planned drybacks. Like I'll shut off the system from time to time. But
Yeah.
I talked about this last night. That's not something I really recommend you do unless you know what the fuck you're doing, because you can do some damage real quick.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna fill the res, right? Check on things. There's still like defoliating that allows me more time to do that. Scout for bugs. Cut clones. Get ready for the next round, right? Always be ready to
Yeah.
go. I see a lot of people, they don't have a plan. Like they'll cut down and then or they're like, "Oh, I'm cutting down. Where are you drying?" "Oh, I don't know."
I don't know.
Yeah. So
Worst
like,
answer.
yeah. So like, what are you doing for the next round? I don't know. Shit, you could have already had next round started in like with a little tiny 100-watt grow light in the corner of your fucking room somewhere. Um, you don't have to.
Sweet baby Jesus, someone give this guy a freaking medal. Thank you, bro. Well said, man. You don't need a whole lot, man, especially if you're starting off and you're just vegging, bro. Like, I literally have a super small grow tent and I start off seedlings and I even veg small plants in there, man, before I can get it to, just because it's a lot easier to control a small environment rather than a big ass environment for
Mm,
small plants, and you can get things, think ahead, guys, think ahead, and it'll help you save time, save cost, save all sorts of stuff, man. It's a
look,
fantastic point.
time's the only thing we can't get back. You have to try to take advantage of as much as you can. If you can get some stuff started while the main room is full, why not do
Yeah.
it?
So true, man. 100% facts,
Hmm.
man. Now, guys, a lot of people don't know there are a lot of small things that you can do to automate your setup, and some of you guys may already be doing it, man. And not like, I'm not even talking on a big scale. I'm talking small things like just having a what you call it, a timer on your grow lights. Those
Hmm.
electrical timers. I think that this is actually one that you got right here, right? And this is a video where you're going through a lot of other stuff, but small things, guys, like electrical timers that have your lights coming on and off, it can help you a lot. It'll help you forget not to make any errors and stuff like that. But going through your Instagram, my man, one thing that I noticed is that you use a lot of trellis. So when it comes to training, what's your preferred way of training? Is it trellis netting only for you?
Pretty much, because I think the trellis net serves two purposes. One, it's going to help support those plants, especially when they start to bulk up.
Yeah,
And two, it's going to allow you to properly fill your canopy. Right. The idea is to spread them out and try to get a branch poking through each one of those squares. It's not
absolutely.
always like it doesn't always work out that way, but that's what your intent is. And a lot of times, you get those heavy colas, they'll just flop over if they
Yeah.
don't have any support. So it's all about giving them the support they need.
Yeah, so true, man. Great point. And one thing that I noticed is that the trellis nets, right? So do you reuse your trellis nets? So this is a curious question. Or you cut them out after each run? Some people are
Nah,
really
those things are
particular.
like $10 a piece, man. And you know how long it takes to weave your plant in and out of a trellis net? No.
Yeah,
I just cut them and throw them away.
yeah,
They're literally like a 5x15 trellis net is like $10.
yeah.
Time is money, and yet some people may say that, hey, that's wasteful. Well, like I'm not going to spend like, let's say it's a 4x8 area, you could easily spend over an hour or more trying
Fact.
to weave all those branches out. Like, and not only that, then you're going to damage the plant, right? Like, no,
Yeah.
no. Dude, you'll see my shit. If you ever look at my videos drying, you'll see pieces of trellis net in there. I don't even give a fuck. It all comes out in the trim, you know? Um,
Yeah. I love it, bro. Man, that is so true though. Like time is money, man, and a lot of the times people overlook that. So like even simple things like you were saying before, getting your plants to the seedling stage a lot faster so you can get your plants into veg. That way you don't run out of your homegrown. You don't have to hit up the shady guy down the road or the fucking dispo which is charging taxes. So either way, it's win-win. So just think ahead. And exactly what you were saying, man, is so friggin' true. Now, when it comes to like the actual training, the trellis netting, I think that that's a great way to maximize yield as well, man. So what would you say for someone who's like got a small space? Because a lot of people grow in small spaces, sort of micro setups. Is it possible to use a trellis netting in a smaller space?
1000%.
Bang on.
Yeah,
Got you, man.
it's all about setup. I like to use PVC pipe as like
Okay.
a trellis net frame. It's pretty simple. You can zip tie the net right to it, right?
Yeah.
It's cleanable. It's non-porous. It's not going to like absorb odors. It's not going to like host bugs, So it's, that's generally what I use. In some places it's wood, whatever, but I actually prefer the PVC. It just works out much better. It's kind of expensive,
Yeah.
like a 4x8, trellis net is the framing on it's going to cost you, I don't know, probably close to $100, but you'll have it forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like permanent. It'll never go anywhere, man.
Yeah, it's not going to rot or anything. It's literally going to last forever. I mean, how do you break a 1-inch PVC pipe on accident? I don't know how. Yeah.
Unless you're the real green monster and you're breaking that shit up, you turn into a real monster.
Snap that shit
into pieces, man. That is dope, man. Because one thing I did notice on your Instagram, man, these beautiful trellis netted plants, it almost looks like it's a commercial setup. It's so beautiful, dude. So shout out to you, man, because you're growing some great plants, great plants. Like I said, guys, check out his Instagram. Smash a friggin' like for that, because today's episode is going so fucking awesome. But let's keep it going, man. When it comes to the actual nutrients, you mentioned like the Synganic approach that you're running. Have you noticed any difference in like the taste compared to like when you started off the early days with DWC and you're running like only synthetic nutrients? Because someone mentioned to me recently, like they're growing in Fox Farm nutrients, man, and their stuff does not have any taste at all, so they want to go organic. Did you notice anything like that?
I've tried Fox Farm before, and the thing I noticed with Fox Farm is no matter what strain I grew, they all tasted the same.
Oh my god, that does not sound good.
I don't know what it is. It's something about the product. Every strain I grew, they all tasted the same.
Yeah.
Based on, I mean, they had subtle differences. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was exactly the same, but
yeah,
they all had like
obviously, like they may have different looks, but like when you actually get down to smoke tasting a token on it, it tasted pretty similar to the last batch, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I wasn't impressed with Fox Farm. I've used a couple of different products along the way. One is Greenleaf Nutrients Mega Crop.
Okay.
That's the one that I just came from. I was using that product for a long time. And I turned a lot of people onto that stuff because it's cheap, it's effective. It's the tough part with it is it's a one part, right? At least the one I was using. So
yeah.
So you got to really dial that shit in, especially with autos towards the end. I wasn't getting the results that I was liking from it. They started changing a few things. So I saw Athena at Nikan in like 2019 or 2020. I don't remember. No, actually it wasn't 2020. So yeah, it had to have been 2019. And they offered me their full lineup. I took it, and the rest is history. I've been using it ever since.
Sweet, man. Say no more, fam. That's what's up, guys. I like that, man. Well, a lot of people actually have, little issues, and I noticed that you got a lot of great hacks, man. So shout out for coming on the show and, breaking some of those down and always keeping up to date with some of the tips that people can use in the grow room, man. Now, one great thing that I did see recently is, a lot of people got different types of tech, man, whether it's fucking, what is it called? Solo cup tech, or whether it's the good old sandwich bag tech as you got here, man. So tell us a little bit about the sandwich bag tech. Dude.
Well, listen, I honestly can't take credit for this tech. This has been going around for a long time, and I heard about it a while ago, and I started seeing it come up more and more. Shout out to Mass Medical Strains. He kind of repopularized this method. He likes to give away clones at the hydro shops around here, right? So he'll drop off clones in a sandwich bag fully rooted, and he's told people, yeah, I took the cut, I threw it in the sandwich bag, and that's how it rooted. And I was like, wow. Now, I will say it's not my preferred method to clone. It's not my preferred method to clone.
Yeah.
I have the it's like a clone dome, but it's powered with an aqua valve by Autopot. So it's just it's an Autopot like cloning system.
Yeah.
I prefer that method more. I like the dome with the cubes, right? But to each his own.
Yeah.
Some people like the sprayers, the aero cloners, hydroponic clones. Those are great too, but too fussy.
Yeah.
The sandwich bag method is something that I will tell anybody to use if they're having trouble cloning. If you can't clone and you keep struggling over and over and over again, I want you to try this method. And I guarantee you will have success. The post, I think after that, the next day was a screenshot from one of my Patreon supporters, sent me a message and he said, hey, it worked. 8 days. I got roots. I said, see, I fucking told you. It's simple. It'll work. Take a cutting, put it in a, dip it in rooting gel, throw it in the cube, put it in the bag, and just put it, in like the corner of your grow room. You don't want too much light with clones. Now, I like to run 24 hours for clones. Some people will argue with that. That's fine.
I like 24 as well.
Yeah, I usually have a little small area where I do my clones, and I run 24 hours on my clones. Some people will say, oh, they benefit from the dark period. Whatever. That's cool. To each his own. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Yeah. But you could certainly throw it in the corner of your bedroom, right? And open the bag up once a day, close it back up, and then I leave like an inch of the bag open because you don't want it completely sealed. The first day I actually will close that bag completely and leave it sealed. The next day I'll come back to it, open it up, and then close it back up with a little bit opened just so it can breathe a little bit. And then every day open it up, do the same thing. And then if you do it right, you don't even need to rehydrate that cube.
Smart.
It'll root before it fully dries out.
Shit, bro. So you literally, the whole cloning process is done in that Ziploc bag, bro. That is dope.
Yeah, it works well. It works well. So if you're having issues cloning, give that a try. Even if you're not having issues cloning, just do it. And just to see if, how it works, you might like it. It's perfect for passing out clones. I like to do that. I like to take cuts and pass them out. Yeah. Right. Something that I've hunted that I'm proud of, that, I put work in to collect. For sure. I like to pass it out. So that's my favorite way to hand out a clone is I'll take a cut, put it in a cube, throw it in a sandwich bag, and I'll give it to them and I say, just leave it in that bag. Yeah. Or whatever. If you don't want to put it in your clone or whatever, but it'll root.
Yeah, that is dope, man. So shout out to that, man. Oh, guys. Oh, wow. I'm sort of mind blown, man. I thought at first I was like, I got to find out more about this because I honestly never heard of the sandwich bag tech before. I heard of like the solo cup tech. I heard of, I built my own cloner recently, the DIY cloner out of a sandwich container and shit like that. And the aeroponic hydro, what is it called? The fucking air bubbling pump thing.
Yeah. Aero cloner. Yeah.
Yeah. Build one of those, man. And it was super cheap. So this takes the cake, bro. Like, I'm going to give that a try. I have never tried it before. So I'm going to give that a try, bro.
Yeah. Give it a shot. I think you'll like it. Now, the fastest way to get roots is 100% an aero cloner. I love them. And that's what I use for a long time. The problem is power goes out, right? Or if you're not on top of that pH, right? Emitter gets clogged. Just too many variables, too many things that can go wrong. And I started just not liking them anymore. So mine is actually still sitting in the corner that I built myself. And it's awesome, right? They work great for the most part until they don't. You know what I mean? That's why the clone dome to me is just foolproof, Yeah,
it is.
The thing with cloning, I think, where a lot of people go wrong is too much light. And not only that, they oversaturate their cubes.
Yeah.
You want those things searching for water.
Yeah, literally. You want it to stimulate that root growth, right? You want it to like get out there. I think that's one of the benefits with the aeroponic cloners. It stimulates the root growth. They're just suspended in that liquid, the nutrient solution or whatever. But what I noticed is that with the aeroponic cloners, you can notice deficiency real quick. So you got to be on top of it. It turns into a DWC game real fast, So you got to be on top of it, man. And if you ain't, you might as well just pop that bitch in some soil. Because
I've been known to flip a cloner machine every now and then. I'm not even kidding. Look at those things. They're way too big in there. I'm not even gonna bother trying to take them out. Just flip it and let's see what happens. You end up with some donks, just like one cola fucking plants, because that's all you have room for.
Yeah.
So pretty cool looking, but not advisable.
Dope, man. I got you on that one for sure, dude. But there was also something that I noticed recently, which I did, and I think you did the same, bro. So I took some monster crop cuttings. I actually took some cuttings of a plant which was in flower, and that's called monster cropping for those who don't know. But that was a really cool thing, and I seen that you actually did the same thing recently as well, man. So talk to us about that.
So it's something that I don't want to do often, right? But
Yeah,
sometimes you fuck up, and everybody fucks up every now and then. I
yeah,
thought I had a cutting of this plant before I flipped it, and I didn't. I went through my inventory and I looked, and I'm like, "Where the hell is this fucking cutting?"
yeah,
And I didn't have it, so I had to take some cuts in flour. And if you look, those are pretty healthy. I mean, they're a little hungry, but they rooted no problem. And I posted that I do a lot of posts actually about cloning because I feel like people struggle with it a lot, and I don't want that to happen.
yeah.
Everybody should know how to preserve their own genetics, right? You
Facts.
grow a fire plant and you want to grow that same plant again, clone it and grow it again.
Yeah, keep it
Um,
around.
yeah, I generally don't do seed runs. Like what I mean by that is I'll pop a pack of seeds and pheno hunt them like in solo cups and see what I get.
Yeah,
Before I flip those solo cups, I'll take cuttings from each one and I'll have it. So that way, if I want to run that, that plant again, I will mother out the cut and take cuts from it and fill the room with that one cut.
yeah.
Um, there's a couple of reasons why you're going to get better results from the same plant. Like, say you grow a plant from seed and then you clone it and grow it again, it's going to grow better than it did the first time from seed. It's going to be
Oh,
less fussy. It's going
no.
to be less prone to harm. Absolutely, 100%. And
Dope.
then if you fill that plant full of the same plant, fill that room with the same plant, you're setting yourself up for success better because like look, when you pop from seed, you get all these different phenotypes. Some are going to be hungrier than others, some might be bushier than others, some might,
Yeah,
be leaner feeders or whatever. You want consistency, right? You're trying to get the most you can.
facts.
Now there's nothing wrong with variety, right?
Yeah,
If you want a
absolutely.
little bit of this, a little bit of that. But for me, I want results.
Yeah, which
And if
makes a
I
lot
want
of sense.
variety, I'll just grow something different in a different room. But I
Yeah,
prefer to monocrop.
yeah, I got you on that one, man. And that actually happened to me because I thought like I had a cutting. No, I actually thought I had more time. Time is such a valuable commodity, man. It goes back to what we were saying. I thought I flipped my plant into flour and thought I had more time to take the cutting because I prefer to take cuttings in veg, and I ended up taking the cutting in early flower. It wasn't too bad, but it was still early flower. It got buds on there and shit. And I got it to re-veg, thankfully, but ideally, I would like to take cuttings in early in late veg. When right before I flip the flower, because that's when I get like the highest success rates. I don't need to worry about like re-vegging and any sort of funky mutational growth or anything. But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people say that monster cropping produces monstrous plants, like a big, bust, robust, bushy plants. Have you noticed any big, bust, robust plants with monster cropping?
It's tough to say. I lean towards yes, but I've never really like wanted to like sit back and be like and look and
Yeah,
scientifically like look at it like that.
got you.
It makes sense from a standpoint when you think about it, but I'm not 100% sure, so I wouldn't say 100% yes, but I would lean towards yes.
Yeah, okay, I got you, man. And one thing that we all probably do, you and I both, and a lot of people in the chat right now. So, guys, if you do, let us know. But we got to transplant with that Dino Myco after you get those roots, man. So, as you see these beautiful roots you got on screen here, bursting through that friggin' rapid
Mhm.
rooted cube. Is it a rapid rooted cube?
Rapper rooters, root riots, whatever I can get my hands on that's decent price. They're all the same
Yeah,
for me.
pretty much, man. But that looks great. So, how do you apply the Dynamico? Because I seen a video of Ari recently, and I can't wait to do this because I got a little Jiffy pot I'm going to transplant up after we chat. But he rolled the Dynamico in it, man. Usually I just pop it into the hole, but I'm going to roll it next time. How do you do it?
So I usually just sprinkle a little bit. What I do is I sprinkle a little bit below where I'm going to plant,
Okay.
right? And then I will put a little dirt or cocoa over that, and then in my hole that I'm putting the cube in, I'll sprinkle a bunch of it in there. And but you want that making contact with the roots. So
Yeah, for
by
sure.
default, when I put that cube in there, it's making contact. And I'm glad you brought up Dynamica, man. That's a great product. It's cheap.
Heck yeah.
It's a little. Some people are like, oh, cheap. But look, if you compare the CFUs to a product, let's say like Great White or Mycos, which are products I've used in the past, it has a
Yeah,
higher CFU rating,
yeah, it's
and
true.
it's not that expensive, and it works. It works. Like I wasn't sold on it. So I actually reached out to Ari and I was like, hey, send me a sample of that stuff. I'd like to try it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. He's like, no, we don't really send out samples. Here's a coupon code. Go buy some. And I was like, oh, man, fucking
Damn, that's
confident.
rough.
I was like, you're confident in this shit, huh? He's like, absolutely. So I bought it and I loved it and I haven't looked back, man. It's a great product. I really only use 2 microbial products. I use that one and I use Photo Plus from Microbe Life.
Yeah, I got you, man. And that works great in your cocoa setup as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yep. Do you get a lot of bugs in the cocoa?
Bugs?
Yeah.
Nah. I have a pretty good plan for bugs. I don't allow them to thrive. So
you gotta deal with it.
Yeah, you got to have an IPM. That's what it's about, integrated pest management. You have to be prepared for the bugs that may come.
Yeah.
And I like to spray with different things like Lost Coast.
Yeah, I use that as well.
Yeah. In veg, I use a lot of wettable sulfur.
Got you.
Wettable sulfur works great. Kills just about anything. And then I make an IPM spray out of crushed red pepper and alcohol. So if you take some crushed red pepper, or any pepper you want. Crushed red pepper is just convenient, and you can find it anywhere. I take a whole container of crushed red pepper, a whole pint of alcohol, let it soak overnight, strain it out. Now you have a capsaicin alcohol concentrate that is fucking deadly. And if you spray that shit in your room without covering up your face, you won't be able to breathe, man.
That'll leave you fucked, bro. That's like pepper spray.
Yeah, no, it legit is. It's like pepper spray. But it works great. So I take like an ounce of that to like a quart of a spray bottle.
I'm about to say, you only deal in ounces, bro. Oh, man.
Yeah. So like an ounce of that shit into a like quart spray bottle.
Yeah.
With a drop of dish soap or a little bit of Q-Yaha as a surfactant, just to make it stick to the leaves a little bit better.
Yeah.
Spray the shit out of there and run. Get out of that room. And the bugs don't like the capsaicin. The alcohol is also effective. And you can add things to it too, like rosemary oil, rosemary, garlic, things like that. You can kind of be creative with it.
Yeah.
So,
smart, man. And it's all about that IPM. Like you said, man, you got to have that integrated pest management routine. You got to be in there on the bugs so they're not in there on you. That's definitely what's up, man. So shout out to you on that, man. And, let's just lighten things up a little bit before we actually close off, dude. Now, I wanted to ask you about this because this is something that I think we both got out at the same time when we linked up last year at the Emerald Cup, man. And I got Dr. Dabber, man, and I really enjoy using it. I actually took it out to Florida recently, and I hit this up. This is all I hit for like almost a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, man.
I fucking love this thing. It's funny. So at Emerald Cup, I saw them there, and I fell in love with it. And the salesman there hooked me and Paul up. And then actually stay tuned because I got a giveaway coming up with them. They're they're going to be sponsoring the giveaway. We're going to give away a Boost Evo. But I love that fucking thing. I really do. Like,
real easy and convenient.
Torch dabs are great. And if you really want to go to the moon, that's pretty much, your best method, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to choke my brains out, and I don't want to be doing all this maintenance, cleaning the nail and shit. Like, I just want to rip some dabs, man. And that thing's super convenient. It's portable. It's spill proof. I can throw it in my bag. I fucking love it. So yeah. I love it so much. Man. I got another one, dude. I got 2 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, my man got 2.
One of them got taken away by the Canadian government, but that's a story for another day.
Oh shit, man! So that's why you got to get 2. Oh man, I honestly love it, man. Like, I've been using it for a while now. I don't hit it every single day, but I do like it. So shout out to Dr. Dabber, man. They're doing some great stuff, and good stuff on them, man. Because I also was not like a big fucking rig hitter. I hated having to get out the torch and gas it back up when it's low and do all that sort of stuff, man.
Too much maintenance, man.
It's a lot, dude. It feels like I'm doing the most, man.
Yeah, what's funny is I get like a lot of shit from my friends and people in the industry, like, oh, you doing your little sissy dab, like your Bud Light. I'm like, that's cool, man. Like, you can talk shit all you want. I love this thing. I can sip and rip it all day long. And when it's time to clean it, I just take a Q-tip and wipe it out, and I'm ready to go for the next round. I don't have to
literally, bro. It's so easy.
I don't have to sit there and fucking throw it in a pool of alcohol and fucking or torch all the bad shit out of there. And not for nothing, dude. So my wife doesn't smoke. If I want to do a dab in the living room, she looks at me like a crackhead. Like, dude, what are you doing? You need a torch to get high? This thing here, she might bitch a little bit about because it buzzes. She's like, oh, does that thing have to buzz every time it's ready? I'm like, yeah, yep. Like, and that's about it. So, yeah.
I'll take the buzz over like almost burning the couch any day, though.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the higher you get, the more dangerous the torch gets.
Yeah, so true, man. Now, speaking of getting super high, man, like, and let's keep going, getting high, man. So, guys, if you're hitting any bowls watching this, definitely blaze up. I'm about to blaze one up as well. But what I wanted to share with you, man, what's the biggest J that you ever smoked? Because I've seen this great pic of you, man. And I was wondering, is this actually the biggest J that you've ever smoked?
Probably pretty close. I don't really
This is a big one, bro. That's a doinker.
I don't know how much material went into them to making that.
Like, is it like, yeah, I was about to ask how big, like how much went in there.
If I had to guess, like over a quarter anyway. I don't remember, man. It was just that was a while back, and we just broke it up and packed it up and smoked it.
Was that one of those pre-roll king size massive cones?
Like yeah, from Raw. Yep. And that picture's at Boston Freedom Rally.
See, that's what we were talking about just before, right?
Yeah. We got to have you up for that, man. That'd be great if you can make it up.
Man. I'll definitely be down.
Last year, In-House made it. Spooky came up. Tori came up. It was a great event, man. Hey, man, we got an Airbnb and just fucking partied like rock stars all weekend.
Party like a rock star. Party like a rock star. Man, I love that, dude. Now let's just skip on quickly to the Know Your Bud segment, man. This is a segment I love to have, man. Every time I don't have it, a lot of the viewers are like, yo, where's the Know Your Bud segment? So I got to have it, man. And I call the Know Your Bud segment because it just helps us to get to know you a little bit better, help everyone to get to know you a little bit better, because everyone that comes onto the show is my bud. And I like to find out what you do with your buds. So all I'm going to do is ask you a couple questions, man. There's no right or wrong answer, but just tell me what's your preference and why. Got it? Got it, man. Well, the first one is pretty simple, man. When it comes to germination, what's your preference? Straight into the soil, paper towel method, or glass of water method?
So it's a hybrid of two methods. I like to soak it in water prior, and then instead of the paper towels, I use coffee filters.
Ooh, interesting.
I like coffee filters because the tap roots don't stick to the coffee filters, I feel.
Okay, interesting, man. I've actually heard that Captain Autoflower told me about the coffee filter method, man. So you boys really like that coffee filter method, eh? Because it really helps with that sticky root.
Yeah, everybody I talk to that talks about germination, I will tell them about the coffee filter, because the coffee filters, just the tap root won't stick to it like it does with the paper towels. For some reason, those tap roots, little hairs and stuff, they just dig in and they stick to the paper towel. Then you rip that tap root off. That's not a good way to start that plant's life. But lately, when I do autos, I actually tend to direct sow those right into the final pot.
Okay, I got you. That makes a lot of sense too. And okay, well, that leads us nicely to our next question. When you're running, what do you run? Like, what's your preference, soil or soilless?
Definitely soilless. I'm a cocoa guy.
Cocoa. And crazy for the cocoa.
I'm crazy. I'm in love with that cocoa.
Now, this one's a little bit controversial, dude, and a lot of people have differing opinions. Autoflowers or photo periods?
I'm a photo period guy all the way. I think autos have their place, and they're not shit like some people say they are.
Yeah.
But like, they're just not on par yet with photo periods. They're close.
Yeah.
And the lines are getting blurred, but I'll always say photo period over auto any day.
Gotcha, man. And that leads us nicely to the next one. Regs or fems?
Both. I really don't have a preference that way. One of our podcast episodes is called "Don't Fear the Regs," man. People are afraid of regular seeds. They don't want to sex them or whatever. Let me give you an easy method to sex your regular seeds, and this will work for anybody. Okay, this is I don't know what you'd call this tech, but this is some tech here. This is how I like to do it. All right. I'll take a cutting from the plant as soon as it's big enough, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll take that cutting and I'll throw it into a cup of water, and you could put it anywhere in a fucking cardboard box with a CFL light and just give it 12-12. That thing will flower before it roots, right? Yep. Yeah. And then you can tell the sex of each plant you have. You don't have to send in for sex testing. They say you have 6 plants, number them 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Top the plants, like take that top cutting or a side branch, whatever, clone it, throw it in just a cup of water or whatever, even your clone dome, doesn't matter. Just sandwich bag, right? Anything.
Yeah, sandwich bag tech. Bring it out.
Just put it into 12-12. It'll start to flower before it usually roots.
Yeah, because it's got those sensitive things coming out. Signals. What am I saying?
Yeah.
I'm stoned. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll start to see pre-flowers, and you can determine the sex that way, and then you know. So don't fear reg seeds.
Man,
when it comes to seeds, I don't have a preference one way or the other. I really don't.
Gotcha.
Because the way I grow, I pheno hunt anyway, and then I find the best one and clone it. So it doesn't matter to me whether or not they're female or regs.
Yeah, because you're gonna find the best one anyway, and keep it can be a femme, but it can be a shitty femme.
Yeah, like just because they're femme doesn't mean they're going to be better, and it doesn't also mean that they're more prone to hermaphrodite, which a lot of people will tell you. Yeah. That's just bullshit. The genetics you're buying are more prone to hermaphrodite, and look, everybody's shit herms.
Yeah,
everybody's gear herms. A lot of it's grower error. Some of it's like it could be like traits and shit that from whatever, but everybody's gear herms. So
feminized always got that risk though, like it's just an inherent risk, that's
but I've seen regs herm too.
Yeah, so exactly.
You're gonna get it both ways.
I
have zero
plants herm,
Yep.
Facts, man. I agree with you on that one, dude. And this is another controversial question though: wet trim or dry trim?
100% dry trim. I'll die on that hill. Look, wet trimming is more convenient, and you're gonna get a better looking product in the end.
Yeah,
but I feel like it strongly affects the flavor. Plus, it's gonna dry sooner. You want the dry low and slow. The longer you let that dry go, the better flavor you're gonna have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A nice, long, slow dry and cure for me is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, keep your hands out of that cookie jar. And speaking of cookie jar, when you're enjoying your flour, how do you like to enjoy it? Do you prefer like a good old joint, or would you rather grab that bong and hit a big old bowl?
All right. If I only had one to choose from, it would be the bong. But I love joints too.
Yeah.
You'll see me. I like to go live in the mornings. Like I'll get to my destination where I'm going to be at for the day, or at least the start of my day, and I'll go live, and you'll see me smoking a joint.
Yeah.
So either way, joint. Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, I got you, broski. And the final one, man: edibles or vapes?
Edibles, man.
Coming from the guy who eats edibles for a living, I would hope so, bro.
Yeah. No, now you know what's funny? I remember where that came from. When we met up at the hotel at Emerald Cup, Dino Micah was handing out edibles.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it was like 100 milligram, and I like drank the whole thing. You're like, dude, you okay, man? You gonna be good? I'm like, dude, I fucking eat edibles for a living. I'm good.
Literally,
yeah. And that shit just stuck. It was funny.
Literally, bro. So now every time I look at you, bro, I'm like, yeah, my man could crank down some edibles for sure, bro. Like, baby talk.
I haven't had it in a couple days, actually. I'll probably eat some tonight. I like to do like a couple days on, a couple days off, because I feel like if you eat them every day, you don't get the same buzz from it, man.
Yeah, facts, man. You make them yourself?
No, I have a very talented friend who does all that. So yeah, I mean, I have in the past. Don't get me wrong, and I think everybody should at least experiment and try to make some edibles. But no, I have a very talented friend that does all that, and I leave it up to him.
Dope, man. Well, that is what's up, man. Well, thanks for that, man. I really enjoyed that Know Your Bud segment, man. It always helps me to get to know everyone that comes onto the show, because everyone that comes on is my bud, man. Like, we're friends after this. Well, we were friends before, dude, if I'm being honest. But,
yeah, man.
I just like to find out more about the homies that come onto the show, bro. So thanks for that, my man.
Yeah, we're going to have to get you on our show and pick your brain. Shoot the shit,
man. I'm always down to shoot the shit, man. That's what I do. Oh man, well, guys, smash the like button for that, man, because I had a great chat so far, man. And I think we touched on a lot of different things, man. From your different grow setups, from fully automating your setups, which I think is super important nowadays. So you guys definitely check out some of that gear. Hit that discount code ICANTHC. Automate your friggin' setup. Stop doing the lame stuff. Just automate your setup. Give it a try. Get some hours back in your life. But not only that, just check out what goes going on the Real Green Monsters Instagram page, man, because homie's growing some real fire, some beautiful plants, amazing trellis net stuff. So I think we touched on a lot of different things, man. And thanks for sharing all of that information with us, man. Even the sandwich bag tech, that was fucking dope, bro. So for all those people who want to get in touch with you and stuff like that, though, like where can they find you, bro?
So you can find me on Instagram. It's the Real Green Monster. I'll hyphenate all underscore the underscore real underscore green monster. You can also go to the website cultivationconversation.com, click on our Discord tab, and that'll bring you right to our Discord. And you can reach us there. We have a good community of people over there, just willing to help you with all your grow problems, shoot the shit, bust your balls a little bit. We have a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. And you guys are doing some great stuff with the Cultivation Conversation podcast as well, man. A lot of great guests are always on there. So, guys, definitely check him out on there as well. Show some love. Let them know you're part of the ICANN fam. Check out everything they got going on. Instagram is up on screen now. Give it a shout. Give it a shout. You know it, my man. Well, thanks so much for coming on, dude. Really do appreciate it, man. I had a blast kicking with you, chopping it up, and learning some different stuff and finding out more about your growth style, man, because you're growing that fire, man. And I need to get my plants looking a little bit more like yours.
Dude, you're killing it in the garden. Come on, man. Don't be so humble. I think you're doing pretty well. Every time you post some pictures, everything's looking fire. So
appreciate it, man. Well, guys, smash that like button, man. That's what's up. We had a great session today, kicking it with the Real Green Monster, and he's growing some of that real green monstrous plants. So you guys definitely check him out. Show some love. Check out the Cultivation Conversation podcast. Smash that like button. Drop a comment down below and let me know what's going on. But most importantly, stay high and stay motherfucking fly. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.